I'm talking to Grattan Institute Higher Education Program Director Andrew Norton about his new report, Taking University Education Seriously. Andrew, why did you write this report?
Well, really this is about the university of today being quite different from the university of the past. In the past it was a smallish elite group of students who went to university. Now we're heading towards 40% of the age cohort going to university. This means that we need to have much greater teaching capacity in our universities than we've had before if these students are to have a good chance of completing their courses successfully.
What's your assessment of the quality of teaching in Australia's universities?
I think the quality is patchy and we need to have a much more consistent high quality of teaching.
Why is it important that the quality of teaching be high in universities?
So there's lots of research showing that particular kinds of learning environments lead to better learning outcomes for students, and that's the building block they need both to get their degree and then succeed in the labour force afterwards.
What measures have you used to establish that the quality is not as high as it could be?
Various surveys of the student experience in higher education, and these survey questions are based on research into what is a good learning environment for students. And so looking at these surveys, students generally in Australia give us a weak to middling rating for our teaching quality.
Is it because many Australian universities, especially the top ones, have a very heavy research focus? What's the relationship between research and teaching in Australia?
Well, a lot of people have thought that research is part of the problem. There are only limited hours in the day, and academics who often prefer research would rather do that over teaching. But we've done a big study looking at comparing students in high and low research departments, and what we found is generally they have very similar experiences.
Is the situation different overseas?
They have similar levels of interaction with their staff, similar levels of academic challenge, a whole range of things are actually quite similar, and we expected there might be bigger differences.
It's striking that in Australian universities nobody is taught how to teach.
Well, it's quite odd that the universities are actually training the professionals of the future, but the people who do the teaching aren't trained themselves on the whole. So most academics either have no training at all, or just done a 2 or 3 day short course.
What are your recommendations in this report?
So I think the big thing we need to do is find ways to increase professionalisation of teaching. One of the things we're suggesting that we could do is encourage universities to appoint more teaching-focused staff. So the idea is that they are recruited for their interest in teaching and their passion for teaching, proper professional development of them as teachers, and their promotions are based on their success as a teacher rather than their success as a researcher.
And you have a specific recommendation, don't you?
So we think that the number of teaching-focused jobs should be doubled over the next few years to about 5,000, so about 2,500 new positions. And the idea is that these would be allocated to universities based on their plans for improving teaching quality. And this is important because it's not enough for teachers just to train themselves. There has to be institutional commitment to this for it to work.
How is that program going to be funded?
So in the current budgetary environment, this needs to be budget neutral. And so what we're suggesting is that there be a small 4 or 5% increase in the student contribution amount, which would cover the cost of this new scheme.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Thank you.